of the Patriots, who do you think is going to be their quarterback this year? Is it going to be Mac Jones or is it going to be Cam Newton?
It's really tough. Like I'm really a big fan of Cam, but like if he doesn't like make any adjustments this season, then it's a possibility Mac Jones could take the spot. But I still would stick with Cam because he's still the veteran. He knows the game in and out. He has the experience. So
yeah, I can't really see Bill Belichick starting Mac Jones, even though I did see a few of his throws against Washington on Thursday night. He looked pretty decent. I didn't get to see any Cam Newton, but I think Cam at the end of the day is going to get the starting job just because he has the experience. And again, I don't think Belichick's going to want to start a rookie quarterback. I think Mac Jones will eventually get the job. It just depends on how the Patriots do and where they start. Like if they start the season off at 3-2 and still have a chance to make the playoffs and still are competing for the AFC West or AFC East with the Bills, I think they'll stick with Cam. But it just depends on where they're. If they're like 2-3 or 2-4, then I could see Belichick pulling the trigger on Jones. But I mean, there's just a lot of scenarios similar to the Michael Thomas situation. There's just a lot of things that could happen. And how do you think the Patriots will do this season? Because again, last year they did not have a great season. They went 7-9. But where do you think the Patriots are? How do you think the Patriots do this season?
I mean, yeah, last season was tough for them because they just really had like players that was just washed up. Like Julian Edelman was like injured. So I mean, they're probably gonna have a decent season. That's how I look at it. I don't see them getting that far. If they make the playoffs, then okay. Like I feel like they have a chance of getting close to the playoffs, but that's about it. It really, yeah, I don't really see them going that far this year.
Yeah, especially with how crowded the AFC is. If they can't win their division, which again is going to be really hard too, because the Bills seem to be one of the best teams in the AFC outside the Chiefs. And I mean, I think the Bills are probably them and the Ravens are probably the second and third best team in the AFC. I think it's going to be with how good the AFC is this year. It's going to be, even with 7 teams making the playoffs again this year, it's going to be really hard for New England to make it. I could see them going 9-8 or 8-9, but I can't really see them winning 10 games. But I mean, again, Belichick is one of the greatest coaches of all time. And somehow with how bad the team was last year, they managed to win 7 games, which I think was a miracle. And with how weird the season was last year with the pandemic and, no fans, I think it was a good coaching job by Belichick because they somehow won 7 games. But I mean, it's just a lot of things can happen from now and even till October. Everything can be completely different. Thanks for listening to the Sports Town Podcast, or the STP Pod for short. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and much more. Also, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Sports Town Podcast. If you want to check out more videos of the Sports Town Podcast, click on the right.